life around you, learning about life around us. Classification of plants. Kingdom Plantae. In 1883, Etcher modified the classification of Kingdom Plantae by adding two subkingdoms, cryptogams and phanerogams. Basis of classification. The primitive level of classification of plants begins from the morphology. At the second level, it is considered whether the plant body has a vascular tissue or not. At the top level, classification of plants is based upon the absence or presence of flowers, fruits and seeds, cryptogams and phanerogams. If seeds are enclosed in the fruits, angiosperms, or seeds are open, naked, gymnosperms. When the seeds contain one cotyledon, monocot, or two cotyledons, dicot. Subkingdom. Cryptogamy. These are non-flowering plants. They reproduce by formation of spores. Division. Thallophyta. Characteristics. All kinds of algae belong to this group. These plants have simple, soft, thread-like body without roots, stem and leaves. Aquatic habitat, autotrophic nutrition. Example: Eulothrix, Chara, Spirogyra. Division: Bryophyta. Activity. Have you seen velvety green beds appearing on the walls or bricks in the rainy season or in a shady moist place? Scratch that green scum seen on the wall. Observe the material with the hand lens. Draw the structure as you sec and record your observations. The material is funaria, moss. It is differentiated into rhizoids, stem-like axes and leaves, but no true roots. Instead of roots, it bears rhizoids. It bears a capsule at its tip which produces asexual reproductive bodies called spores. Characteristics. These are primitive, multicellular, autotrophic, shade-loving, amphibious plants. They reproduce by spore formation. They have thin, soft, plate-like green body, thallus, without true stem, leaves or roots. There is no vascular system. Roots-like structures called rhizoids are present. Division: Pteridophyta. Observe the backside of matured leaflets of the common fern plants. Note the reddish-brown spots on it. Find out the information regarding these structures. The reddish-brown spots on the backside of the matured leaflets of the fern leaf are sori, singular, sorus.
Each sorus contains many sporangia, that is singular sporangium, in groups. The sporangium bears
Spores.
which are used for asexual reproduction. Characteristics. These plants are multicellular, autotrophic. The plant body is differentiated into roots, stem and leaves. They usually have leaflets. They possess a simple vascular tissue. They reproduce asexually by sporus and sexually by formation of gametes. Subkingdom. Phanerogam. Phanerogams are flowering plants. Activity. Note the character of some flowering plants. Record the height of the plants, structure of the root, stem and shape of the leaves, the flowers, fruits and seeds. Let us observe flowering plant like vinca, rose and gulmohar. Let us study the important features such as height, structure of the root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits and seeds in the tabular form given below. Plant body of phanerogams is well differentiated into root, stem and leaves. They have vascular tissue and reproductive tissue which ultimately make seeds. The group is further classified on whether the seed are naked or enclosed in a fruit. Division. Gymnosperms. Gymnos means naked and sperma means seeds. Activity. Observe cycas and pinus plants in a nearby garden. Note the character like height of the plants, structure of the stem, shape of leaf, the structure of its flower and seeds. Characteristics. These plants are evergreen, perennial, having unbranched stem and conifer leaves. These plants bear separate male and female flowers called as cones. They do not form fruits and their seeds are open, that is naked. Example, cycas, pinus, that is pines, cedrus, that is deodar, etc. Division. Angiosperms. Angio means case or covering and sperma means seed. Characteristics. These plants bear flowers as reproductive organs. Seed develops inside the fruit. Seeds may have a single cotyledon, that is monocotyledonous plants, and two cotyledonous, that is dicotyledonous plants. Activity. Soak few seeds of pence, beans, gram, wheat, jawar, maize, mango, tamarind, etc. for 8 to 10 hours. Try to break each seed into 2 equal halves. Classify each of them in monocotyledonous and dicotyledonous seeds. Activity. Now the interesting characters of these plants. Sundew, Drosera. Pitcher plant. Sundew, that is Drosera. Sundew is an insectivorous plant. It has adaptation to catch live insects. It has many digestive glands which secrete digestive juice to digest nitrogenous and protein parts of the insects. In this way, it gets the required nitrogen from the insects. Pitcher plant. The pitcher plant is also an insectivorous plant, usually live in nitrogenous poor soils. They do not get enough nitrogen and thus they fulfill their nitrogen requirement by capturing and consuming insects. They are brightly colored and have fragrance to attract insects. Each leaf forms a picture. The inside of the picture is lined with downward pointing hairs. These hairs block an insect from climbing up and escaping. The fluid in the bottom of the picture contains digestive juices which digest the insect prey. Summary. In 1883, Etcher modified the classification of kingdom Plantae by adding 2 subkingdoms, Cryptogams and Phanerogams. Basis of classification. The primitive level of classification of plants begin with the morphology. At a second level, it is considered whether the plant body has a vascular tissue or not. At the top level, classification of plant is based on the absence or presence of flowers, fruits and seeds. Those are cryptogams and phanerogams. If seeds are enclosed in fruit, angiosperms, or seeds are open, naked, gymnosperms. Whether the seeds contain one cotyledon, monocot, or two cotyledons, dicot. That is all in this topic. Enjoy learning.